Hello, and welcome to Entertainment Tech News. I'm your host, Amar Santos, and believe it or not, today is our final episode of the season. So, because it's the final episode, we're going to cover a topic that's more close and at home with what we do here. We're going to be talking about the Entertainment Technology Department. And to talk to us about the department, we actually have the head of the department with us, Professor John McCullough. Thank you for coming with us, Professor.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Professor, can you tell us more about what the Entertainment Technology Department does? Like, what's part of it?
Sure. The Entertainment Technology Department has 2 degree programs. They're both 4-year Bachelor's of Technology degrees. The first program is Entertainment Technology. It covers live event and video production. And the other is Emerging Media Technology, which covers new media, game design, things that aren't mainstream yet.
So what does Entertainment Technology do?
So that covers all of the behind-the-scenes, backstage production tasks that are required to make a live event or a video or film production happen. Mm-hmm. Students are going to learn the basics of everything, but they're going to have a chance to specialize in scenery, lighting, sound, show control, video production, and in about a year they'll also be able to choose live event management as one of their tracks.
And what does emerging media do?
So emerging media students can specialize in game design and interactive media, physical computing, music technology, and media computation.
So typically, what do students in the Entertainment Technology Department end up doing after their program's over?
Well, pretty much anywhere that shows are happening, you can find our students getting jobs. So Broadway shows with IATSE Local 1, we can see students doing TV film production with Local 52, working arena shows at some of the bigger venues in Brooklyn with Local 4. We have lots of students as freelancers working the small not-for-profit scene or doing corporate events, stuff like that. Theme parks, trade shows, cruise ships, tours. Entertainment technology students do all that stuff. And emerging media technology students find work as software developers, game designers. Mm-hmm. We've had students work doing graduate study on both programs when they finish, all kinds of stuff.
So what do students do in their programs that helps them get ready for after degree work?
Well, we like to pair everything that students are learning in the classroom with hands-on repetition in the lab, like we're doing right now. So everyone will take 2 or 3 semesters of introductory courses and then start taking technical production, where we do the actual shows in the department. In technical production, which students repeat for 3 semesters, they will get to work on real shows with outside artists from the New York arts community. Mm-hmm. That lets us bring in designers, directors, writers, actors that we don't have in the department, and students can start to make professional contacts while they're still in school. After they're finished with tech production, students will do an internship in their senior year. They can find a company that's doing the kind of work they want to do, or that will let them meet a person who's going to be a good contact for their career. And they'll also do a self-directed culmination project in the senior year that lets them hone their skills even further and develop a nice portfolio piece.
So you mentioned a culmination project. What is involved in the culmination project?
So a culmination project is really like a self-directed research or creative project or technical project that a student will undertake. Mm-hmm. The 2 main categories are learning a new skill or refining a skill that they already have. I like to think of the first job, the culmination project, and the internship as 3 steps on the path that all kind of go to the same place. You want to have in mind your first job after graduation, what kind of people you need to know to get that job, what kind of skills you need to have, what your resume should look like, what kind of portfolio you should have, and then use your internship and your culmination project to get there. So for example, we had a student who wanted to be a camera operator, and she decided to learn how to use a Steadicam and make a demo reel for herself. So she looked up the most common shots that a Steadicam operator needs to be able to do, learned how to set up the equipment, practiced, rehearsed, and recorded herself doing all of these common shots. So going up and down stairs, around corners, tracking with performers as they're walking, and was able to use that to show off her skills when she graduated. Another type of project is refining or expanding on skills you already have. So a video student might work on some short projects in earlier classes and then decide to take on a longer form or larger project for their culmination. Scenery student might have built scenery in earlier classes but take on the role of a technical director and do budgeting and estimating for a real show. Anything that lets them put their classroom learning to work.
And if students want to know more about the Culmination Project, where can they learn more about it?
Well, anytime students can come to the department office in Voorhees 203. They can talk to an advisor, bounce ideas off of someone, get feedback on their project proposal. Another way is on next Thursday, that's December 19th at noon in the Voorhees Theater, we'll have our Culmination poster session. So all of the students who are currently in Culmination Project will be showing off their work from the semester. You can ask real students, what they learned, what kind of projects they did, what kind of things they ran into as issues along the way, and get some ideas for your own project.
Well, Professor, I want to thank you again for going into detail about Culmination and the department as a whole for us.
My pleasure.
Thank you again for coming. So since we're on the topic of Culmination, last Friday a Culmination project was actually shown at Voorhees Theater. We actually have footage of it for you right now.
I believe them bones are made. Some say we're born into the grave. I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of damn bones. Rise right on over my town. Empty fire soul of the new scene. I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of damn bones.
Now that you all got to see what the Culmination Project from last Friday was, we actually have the two students here who organized the entire show, Melissa Kuchevich and Nick Malios.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So Melissa and Nick, can you tell us more about what your Culmination Project was?
Our Culmination Project was a group, which is actually Nick Malios' group Trilogy, and it's a rock concert, and they performed on Friday. So.
Yep. We just had a free concert for everyone in the school and outside the school. She produced it, and I helped with the sound system.
So could you tell us more about the concert? Like, what kind of music was played?
Rock.
Yeah.
Rock concert.
Well, yeah, we picked out some covers. We did stuff like Weezer, Alice in Chains, just like 90s, 80s rock songs that people tend to enjoy.
Pretty cool.
Thank you.
So, Melissa, what did you specifically do for your Culmination? Like, what role and like what jobs did you have to do in order to get the show done?
Well, I was the production manager for the show, and I pretty much was in charge of all the paperwork and all the things to actually make the show happen. So I put the budget report, I made sure that the meeting was happening from designers like the sound and lighting designer, and also the the band's rehearsals, just to make sure that they were actually coming together and practicing. And I would also, like, of the day of the show, I had to make sure that everything was on time. So we had to, like, make a pre-show list, so see, like, what is to do before the show, what is happening during the show, like a cue list, and then what to do after the show.
Mm-hmm. And Nick, what did you have to do?
So besides the performance aspect, going to rehearsals, learning the songs, and making sure that it's a great show for everyone to see, I also helped with the sound system. So me and one of the advisors, John Huntington, we got together and we built the sound system from the ground up.
So did you guys have to do like any preparation work beforehand for the show? Like,
Yes, we
Oh,
have.
yeah.
like how much?
It was a lot of months before the actual show, so we started the idea and started doing all the paperwork in June. I actually had to reserve the theater in May before all the professors and advisors got together. We wanted to make the show in the spring, but because it was so full, they decided that it would be better for December. And after that, we have to plan everything out. Trilogy was originally just a 3-people group. It was Nick, his brother, and one of his friends.
Yeah.
But the other guitarist, bassist, could not join because he's studying to be a doctor.
Yeah.
But after that, they recruited some other members, and then that became Trilogy that we saw on Friday.
That's true.
Pretty cool. So for anyone who's going to take Culmination in the future, do you guys have any advice for them?
Well, one thing, it takes a lot of time. Like she said, we started this in June, and then the show happened in December, so it's very time consuming. You have to put in a lot of work. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into it. And especially on my end, we had to have a lot of labor with all the other students. We had to bring up speakers. We had to build this full sound system for the show.
I would say preparation and organization is like a huge process in this, especially with all the paperwork that's happening. And communication, especially if you are working in a team, you have to communicate with your team to make sure that the show would actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Nick,
Thank
for
you,
all your
Amar.
advice, and great job on the Culmination show.
Thank you so much.
I'm pretty sure everyone really loved it. I know I did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to the entire audience for watching our show this entire season. It's been a long season, and we've covered a litany of topics from the haunted hotel to the libraries, eventually to Culmination itself. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next season.